don't even think they even looked at that. Hey guys, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Hey guys, come on in. How are you? Go on my Facebook. Okay guys, so I just wanted to swing by really quick. Make sure. Let me know if you guys can comment, if you guys can see me on Facebook. If you guys can see me on Facebook or YouTube, if you guys can comment, that would be great. Let me know that I can see you guys. Instagram, hey guys. Okay, so I just wanted to swing by really quick to have a quick discussion with you guys before I go into my next meeting. Because while I was preparing a few clients' tax returns, I realized that many of you guys have, if you've already rushed to file your taxes via TurboTax, H&R Block, and Tax Act, Free USA, and all of those free places, right? Then if you've rushed to file your taxes right now, then you've more than likely made a major mistake. And I advise you guys to slow down, take a step back, and reevaluate all the numbers that you guys have put into these tax returns. Okay? So, for example, today I was sitting with the client. Well, we had our meeting. She came in and she was like, "Oh, Falashade, the numbers that I first quoted you was wrong. The new number that I got was several thousands of dollars." So I was like, "Oh, okay. Show me how you got this estimate of XYZ thousands of dollars," right? So the client commences to show me, like literally walk me through the software. And it was one of those freebie sites that many of you guys rush every year to file your return. And I've been advising you guys for years and years and years to stop. I know you haven't been, making mistakes, or you probably haven't received notices, because that's what I've heard in a lot of those free groups. "Oh, Falashade, I've been doing it right myself all these years, blase, blase, blase." All right. That's not the case no more. A lot of you guys are making mistakes and you don't even know it. So today at the meeting, I asked the client to walk me through, right? So she walked me through. Come to find out, the software that she used applied the stimulus payment. The software that she used applied not only the stimulus payment, but also the child tax credit. And it applied the incorrect amount. Hey, Phoebe, how are you? It applied the incorrect amount. So if she would have rushed to file that tax return, told the person that referred her to me, "Oh, your girl got me the wrong amount. Your girl didn't do nothing. Your girl didn't do this." Let's say if she would have did that, took that approach, she would have been receiving a notice from the IRS in about a couple of months saying that we could have issued your refund, or they would have issued the refund, then came back and said, "Oh no, we adjusted your tax return. So here's the adjustment that was made, and now you owe us XYZ." So why am I here today with all of you guys? I personally, as an IRS enrolled agent, I do not recommend any of you to be filing this year's tax return with, number one, those online softwares, those box softwares, and number two, someone that do not have credentials. Number one, those box softwares. Number two, someone that don't have credentials. And the reason being is because the system is so complex. When I even walked the client through, I said, "Oh my gosh, no. The way that they're even asking you guys to question is wrong. The way that they're asking the questions is even wrong." So if you misinterpret the actual question that they're asking you, your refund will then be overstated. And so why am I saying this to you guys? Because I'm part of so many different groups. You guys should see the refund amount, 15,000, 30,000, 40,000. I'm like, How much child care expenses did you pay? How much is your income? Didn't you say you received that child tax credit payment? Didn't you say you received all your stimulus payments? So, guys, the tax softwares are not individual tax professionals. So, they cannot ask you the question 3 and 4 times like I would do or your tax professional would do. So you want to make sure this year and going forward, based on the complexities of things. And then honestly, guys, there's so many loopholes that many of you are going to miss out on because you're attempting to do this on your own and you don't have the knowledge. You don't have the knowledge to apply some of the credits and stuff. Because the box softwares is not your accountant. It's not your personal preparer. So guys, if you're watching this on any social media platforms, please share the video because I know each and every one of us have to file our taxes. And I know so far everybody is rushing out. You probably gotten your W-2 by now and you're probably like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to file my taxes. I'm ready to file my taxes. But you guys may need to slow down and stop using those online software. So that's one reason, the misplacement of the stimulus payments. The second reason why you guys should go to a professional like myself is because of those child tax credit payments. If you don't answer those box softwares and the online softwares, those questions correctly, they're going to give you the full child tax credit, even though you received $2,000 in 2021. So that means your tax return, guys, would be overstated by $2,000. Your refund will be overstated by $2,000. Thank you, Phoebe, for sharing the video. So number one, the stimulus payments. Number two, the child tax credit payments. And then number three, all of you guys a lot of you have withdrew money from your retirement accounts. A lot of you have withdrew money from your retirement accounts. And come to find out, that same client that said, oh, I've been filing my taxes on my own for all these years with no problem, come to find out they left out retirement income from the previous year. So no, their TurboTax return, their H&R Block return, their free USA returns was wrong. So now what's going to happen? They're going to get a notice from 2020 saying you didn't include your retirement income. And then in addition to that, if she would have filed a return without finalizing her return with me, then they would have been in the state of owing money for this year. So many of you guys are saying that you've been filing your taxes with all of these softwares. Yes, kudos to you. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Because you guys are going to call me when all of this turn ahead, because so many of you guys are about to submit incorrect tax returns. Like literally, this, guys, I have not been live in almost a year. I have not been live streaming in almost a year. So for me to plop on here right now, then it's urgent. This is breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Do not rush to file that incorrect tax return. Breaking news. So yes, please, guys, take your time. Hire a tax professional. If you don't work with me, okay, find somebody else that's just as good. Hey, Lavelle, how are you, love? Find somebody that's just as good. But the issue is, I don't advise you guys to try to save $100 this year from doing your taxes with these box softwares, and you're getting this $30,000 refund. And remember, everything that you guys put on your tax return is your responsibility. You cannot blame TurboTax. You cannot blame me. You cannot blame anyone but yourself, because when you signed that tax return, you said that this tax return is accurate to the best of your ability under the perjury of law. So many of you don't even know that you're submitting incorrect tax returns because you refuse to sit down with a professional. And a lot of y'all then withdrew all of that money last year and the year before, and you didn't claim it on your tax return. And I'm seeing the mistakes now. Guys, I would not be coming live if I did not see the mistakes. I got the recordings, but I'm sitting here trying to edit it so I don't put my client's information out there. but I got the proof. You guys are making massive mistakes, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of mistakes on your tax return because you refuse to pay at least $100, maybe even $200 more than what you're accustomed to paying. So guess what? You're submitting an incorrect tax return. Yes, you might get the approval from the IRS. Yes, it'll say, oh, your refund is headed to you. Remember, guys, if you've been watching me for years, the IRS doesn't audit you the moment you submit a tax return. They audit you a few years down the line. So a lot of you are making mistakes right now, guys, that's going to hunt you in 2 to 3 years just because you attempted to save $200 to $300 or so dollars. It's not even worth it. So guys, post your questions about this tax year, what questions you have about the stimulus, what questions you have about anything right now. If you want me to answer the question live, post your questions. So it was the stimulus payments, the child tax credits, the retirement income, and then also, guys, the adjustments with the earned income. So there's credits and stuff that you guys are also missing out on. And that software is not going to ask you those questions, y'all. The software is not going to dig a bit deeper and say, oh, well, did you do this? And, was you sick in 2021? Did you contract COVID? The softwares are not going to ask you guys this. So if your refund was above $15,000, let me just say, really, if you know your normal refund is like $10,000 and your refund now is $25,000, because I've seen it, y'all. Don't submit that tax return. Pay a professional to review it before you submit it. If you know your refund is triple the amount that you normally get every year and there wasn't really any changes, then you please don't submit that tax return, guys. Take it easy. The money is not going to go anywhere. Even if the country bankrupt tomorrow, they still going to be trying to issue y'all refunds so you can stimulate the economy with your refunds. So you guys don't have to rush. You guys don't have to rush. It's not like the money's going to disappear. So post any questions, and I'm trying to scroll through the questions here on StreamYard. I'm having a little difficulties. But post your questions if you have any questions about your refunds. If you're curious about anything, this is your time. I think I got maybe 5 more minutes or so, and I can answer y'all questions. But post your questions because I'm very concerned. And see, this is the thing. Remember, I told you guys that the IRS is going to increase their audits, right? Remember, I told you guys that they're already working on that. That's already set. They're now just waiting for all of these merchants to start reporting y'all income. So you guys are fighting a battle that I don't even think you guys want to even tread right now. So if you feel as though the return isn't correct, go to a tax professional. Don't post in no group. Please go to a tax professional. If your refund was triple the amount, then go to a tax professional. So let me give you guys one real life example of, okay, so I see the question. So what if someone has already submitted their refund with another preparer? Can they come to you for an amendment? Oh, that was a really, really good question. So if you submitted your tax return right now and you have to do an amendment, then yeah, you can come to me and I can correct the return. Now, one thing I always look at before I advise a client to amend the return, guys, is to see the cost benefit behind it. Because if you're going to pay me a couple of hundreds of dollars to several hundreds of dollars to amend your return, and then the IRS going to end up adjusting the return on their own, then I say just wait until the IRS would adjust your tax return. But I do advise you guys to get on my calendar so I could evaluate whether or not it's worth me amending or worth you waiting for IRS to make the adjustment on your tax return. Because if it's a normal, just you left off a W-2 or you left off, you don't want to just leave it if you left off business income. You want to make sure I do it. But if you left off, let's say a W-2, then simple as that, IRS will make that adjustment. But if you left off a child, the IRS is not going to make that adjustment. If you didn't get the correct stimulus amount, but you don't apply for it on the tax return, the IRS is not going to make that adjustment for you. So good question, Phoebe. I just would say get on my calendar so I can evaluate whether or not your return due needs to be adjusted. Okay, that was a good question. Hey, Gary. All right, yeah. Okay, so we talked about, okay, so one reason why you guys need to be alarmed about the stimulus payment, just to reiterate, is because they're asking you guys the questions incorrectly. And the second reason is that you are not downloading your letters or keeping your letters that the IRS have mailed you. So the IRS mailed you guys 2 letters, okay? For letter 6475 and 6419. Those 2 letters are extremely important this upcoming tax year because one of them applies for your stimulus and the other one is your child tax credit. And you need both of those documents, and it needs to be inputted into the tax software correctly for you to get the right refund or the correct amount that you would end up owing. And so what's happening is that people are filing their tax returns without those letters. So these box softwares, these online softwares, non-credentialed tax preparers are just going with the flow because they don't know how the whole tax return works. So they're like, oh, your refund 15,000, and they screenshot and they put it in my client refund 15,000. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, did you see the recovery rebate there for $6,000? Is that correct? So guys, you want to pay attention to that. So the second thing with the child tax credits, it's also that you guys are not maintaining the letter. And that letter is very, very, very important. See, Biden, and I said this because I did go live talking about that. When I explained to you guys what the child tax credit was, I told you guys that it was an advance. Many of you didn't listen. It was an advance. It was not anything in addition to your child tax credit. Yes, he did increase the refundable amount. However, you ended up getting an advance on your child tax credit. Okay, so for all of you that received the advanced child tax credits from July, August, September, October, November, and December, that number is supposed to be subtracted on your tax return. Okay, that number should be subtracted from your tax return, but that is not what the systems are doing because you guys don't have the letters. You can't remember the amounts. Okay. Then some of you have child age children and the numbers are different. You got a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, so the amounts are different in terms of the payments. So with the child tax credit, you guys need to keep that letter. And that amount that's on that letter is supposed to be subtracted on your tax return, guys. But some of you guys are not doing that. You're forgetting that you got that child tax credit and you're forgetting that it's an advance. It was not something in addition to your child tax credit. It wasn't no money on top of money. You know, it wasn't no extras, y'all. They just split it out. What they did was they wanted you guys to stimulate the economy. So everything that I've been telling you guys is coming full circle, it's coming for full head, everything. They just wanted you guys to have that money to stimulate the economy. I want to be just like her when I grow up. Thank you, Rhonda. So you guys have to understand that this was a trick. It wasn't nothing extra. And I told you guys that. So I advise a lot of my clients to not accept it, especially the ones that like to get their money up in a lump sum, especially the ones that didn't need the money throughout the months. Now, the clients that needed the money throughout the months, I advise you to get the child tax credit. But remember, your refund will be a little bit lower. So what's happening is, and this is the reason why I said don't file those returns, is that if your refund does not reflect the subtraction of this child tax credit advance payments that you received in 2021, then it's not correct, guys. And then last but not least, a lot of you guys are receiving income statements from retirement accounts, from your investment accounts, from your crypto and all of this stuff, and you don't know what to do with it. Guys, when you get to that point in the filing of your returns, you have to consult with a professional at that point. You should not rely on a box software. Not for no crypto taxes, not for no you pulled out money from your retirement. Not if you sold a property, sold a house, sold a business. There are certain things and certain scenarios where I recommend you guys use the box softwares. And that is only if you have a W-2. And then in that case, I don't recommend it if you're making such a large amount of money and you're paying a lot in taxes, because then we need a tax plan. So you guys thinking that you're saving money, in all actuality, you're not saving money. You still don't know why your refund is what it is. You still don't know why you're owing every year. You still don't know nothing about the taxes. All you know is that you keep getting a refund. And for you to build generational wealth, for you to change the trajectory of anything, for you to understand and become more financially literate, guys, it starts with your personal tax returns, because every U.S. taxpayer that make above a certain income level, certain income threshold, you have to file a tax return. So the moment you make above 12,000, what is the standard deduction? 12,000, I think it's 150 or something like that for the standard deduction, you have to file a tax return. The moment you have net self-employment income of $400, you're supposed to file a tax return. So guys, a lot of you are making really, really major mistakes. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is these businesses. All of you have these businesses. And for the past few years, you've been able to skate your way through without your bookkeeping. You've been able to skate your way without having your paperwork and documentation in order. And I've been hopefully preparing you for you to have your stuff in order for this year. Now, the system is going to force you guys to get that paperwork and stuff in order because of the reporting requirement. So why am I worried? Because I already know when I read the bill, they first requested retroactive access to all of our 1099s. And so, guys, here you go, hearing it first again. If CNN blasts all of this out there, because I was looking in the law, I was reading it again before I even mentioned it. But before they finalized the bill, when I read it, it said that they wanted retroactive. The kids are home. Hold on, y'all. They want retroactive access to all of your 1099. So what does that mean? That means they don't just want this 2022 one. They want the 3 years prior. So I know they had that in the bill before it was approved. I don't know if they approved it. Excuse me. I don't know if they approved the bill with that clause in there. But I already know, with or without that clause, the IRS system is going to be triggered. For example, let's say now PayPal issue IRS your 1099K for 10,000, right? And the IRS get it this year. What's going to happen is the IRS system is going to say, oh, well, on this person's Schedule C, they didn't claim any business income. So right there, all of you guys that have not been claiming that business income from PayPal, Square, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and all of these merchants for all of these years have actually messed yourself up. And I guarantee you they're going to do that because that's how they open up audits. Because the numbers are inconsistent. Because if you made $10,000 on PayPal, regardless if PayPal reported it or not, guys, you were obligated to also report it on your tax return. But I know from experience, a lot of you say, oh, this preparer told me that I don't have to, this preparer told me that I don't have to claim it because I didn't make a lot of money. Or this preparer said I've been hearing that for years. So for all of y'all that listen to that mess, you did more than likely opened yourself up for an audit. And I guarantee you, because I've been, this is all I do, y'all, they're going to end up auditing y'all. So make sure this year when you file your return, you include that business income. Don't say, oh, this is my last year. This is my last. No. This is not your last year. That's it. The game is over. So guys, I hope that you've taken this video and hopefully you're able to apply anything that I've talked about in today's video about the stimulus payments being incorrect on your return, the child tax credit payments being incorrect as well, you guys not claiming your retirement income and your investment income, and then also your business income are some of the reasons why a lot of you should not rush to file your tax returns. The money's not going to go anywhere. As long as you file by the deadline, do it right, you're in good shape. Don't rush out there to be filing something that's incorrect and you know it. And you know, because most of us, we can feel it when something's not right. Let's be honest. So if your gut, if your instinct is telling you something not right, consult with the professional. If you guys want to work with me, go to bit.ly/quick tax chat. Get on my calendar because I do not want you guys to be experiencing the raft that's going to be happening over the next few years. And so, you know, this is just every day. It's messy out here in these tax streets, y'all. Okay. Get on my calendar, bit.ly/quick tax chat. Get on my calendar. Also, if you've already filed your tax return, go into the portal, look at it, and see if your stimulus payments was applied incorrectly, and to check to see if your child tax credit payments were applied incorrectly. And the reason why I want you guys to do that so you can be ahead of the ball, okay? Because by you knowing your return is incorrect, you'll be able to make the adjustments and get it amended and stuff, okay? All right, guys, have an amazing day. I enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you guys when I want to give y'all some more information. Have a good day, y'all. Bye, y'all. Bye, Thorin. Hey, cuz.